Today we are going to talk a bit about planning. Okay, we're going to talk a bit about how do you know, plan stuff out. How do you make sure that things don't get overwhelming in your life? Okay, now there can be a lot of examples. There can be a lot of approaches to this. Most basic one means just writing your to-do list on your uh, notebook and all. Okay, but let's pick up something that is very common in the IT world, something that is based on Kanban approach. And Kanban is a kind of approach that uh, I don't even exactly know what it is if I'm being honest. Kanban board. So it's a visual board. Yeah, I remember now. It's a visual board that basically shows you how if something has been done or not. Okay, so instead of just making a to-do list and you cross it off, you make something like this. Okay, there is a backlog. Backlog says whatever things you have to do. There is a doing phase, there's a review phase. These all can be changed a lot. Okay. Now, the most popular one is Jira. Okay, the most popular one is Jira. But in my past job, I have used Azure DevOps extensively. So since I have used that, let's go with it. The core principle and the core thinkings are the same. Okay. So I have made two, you know, what do you say? I don't know. Okay. In my API head, it's only endpoints. I have made two projects. It's Ni6HNT and making tech friendly. My YouTube channels are making tech friendly India, make it tech friendly, Nishan Gaming India, Nishan Gaming. I know it's a lot, but it was needed for organization. Earlier, I had just one channel and every content was there. And if you do not organize your content on YouTube, it might not get views. I think you must have already seen someone having a particular channel, they're uploading one type of video and they suddenly change their content to different type. The prominent example would be Ryan Central's channel. If you know that person, Ryan Central. So his channel took off with Valorant.
So the VC.
Yes. So his channel took off with Valorant. If you go a big uh, uh great guy, I'm going to say. His things were great, but if you go back a bit back, yeah. So when Valorant launched, all he did was he posted contents regarding how to play the game, how to improve in the game, okay. And then he started to, every new update that came, he used to test it out. He used to talk to devs, and people loved that content. People loved it. They still do. They still do. What happened was in the middle of this, he decided that it would be, I don't know. What he did was, so he is also a caster in game. So what he did was, he is also a caster. He casts all everything in the game. So where is it? Where is it? So he started to upload those videos. Okay. And if I think you can see by the views you are getting now. You see? So some videos do get a lot views, but most don't. Okay. The problem is not that he isn't good or something like that. The problem is, and I don't think it has anything to do with YouTube too. This has nothing to do with YouTube. It has everything to do with how people perceive someone. Okay. So people perceived him as a new patch as a new agent comes in a particular game, he's going to upload that video, and people mostly had subscribed to him and kept their notifications. And then suddenly he changes his content. What he should have done, and I said to him earlier too, please make another channel. Please make another channel on which, if you want whatever you want, okay, in this channel, there should have been a channel that should only be caster talk, everything related to the pro scene, what he does, and that would have been amazing. Some kind of people like that. The people which came to your channel, most of them didn't want that. Okay. Yeah, and in the middle, I think he also posted some videos about. I don't know if he took it down or not. What was the name of the video? What is the other game? Overwatch, no? So earlier he was only Overwatch. Then he changed his content to after Valorant launched Valorant. Okay. So in reality, this channel should be actually Ryan Central uh, Overwatch. There should have been a new channel, Ryan Central Valorant. There should be a third channel, Ryan Central Valorant DevTalk. And I understand people are like, oh, I have to show the amount of subscribers on my channel. And that's why they do this. But this is not the approach. Okay. I have good subscriber on this. If I start uploading gaming videos on this, which I did, if I'm being honest, that's how my channel actually started. Okay. So the thing is, uh, I basically I don't even have laptops to review. I basically when I saw what was being sold in India, my motivation to start the Indian channel was that people are buying terrible things at terrible prices online and offline. Again, I could see good deals just going by, depending on what the laptop is. So earlier, I all I did was, so this is the first video I bought. Main content, my main content is basically don't buy this and don't buy that. Okay, that's how my channel started. That you don't buy this and you don't buy it. It might be slightly controversial, but I try to represent my case as it is. Okay. Now the reason I am not going to put this video on this channel or this channel or this channel or this channel, because it belongs in this channel. Okay. And you know what? Let's also start updating it. So that is my point. Now I want to organize everything a bit. Okay, things are getting quite overwhelming. I am missing things that I have to, and since I already have a day job, so this channel is for educational, is for, yeah, educational content, tutorials, and every miscellaneous things that don't fit my other channels. So what are the miscellaneous thing? Tech and gaming. That's my basically all the other channels, isn't it? So this is tech, but this is tech for India or purchasing decision for India. And this one is the making friendly. This is basically a global tech channel. Okay. Gaming India pertains to, so in this channel, what I do, this is what I do. So this channel actually has, you know what, let's do it in front. Let's do it in front of you. Okay. So this channel is basically for short game clips from short game clips and modding and mod videos. That's basically what this channel, I want this channel to be. Okay, I want there to be videos on this channel, but they should only be about, okay, this is already here. So this channel is known for if you check the popular videos. So yeah, this channel is, if you see, that's the mod. the black cat mod. So that's the black cat mod. She has no eyes and all. This is the big head mod. This is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man mod, and those are the content that this channel is known for. If you see, this is uh, Kratos from God of War playing as Spider-Man. Okay, so this is what it's known for. Okay, this is what it's known for. Earlier, I used to do benchmark and all, but I have to move that also. And yeah, second thing is emulation. Okay, so basically show off emulation, how emulation works and all that, and basically settings for best mod videos and emulation settings of emulation settings slash gameplay or other of gaming systems. Okay, yeah. So now these are the things that you have to make clear earlier. So this is the what I started. This channel is basically I put benchmarks on this. I put things that are related to tech but can't really go into the like unboxing videos. What is the point of unboxing videos on that? No, not really needed. So yeah, you know what? Let's not talk about me. This is not uh, to talk about me. Let's start talk about now Azure DevOps and DevOps. So as you saw, I have a Making Tech Friendly YouTube channel, and I also have Making Tech Friendly India YouTube channel. Okay. Okay. We will do no coding on this. Maybe for the website we will, but for this we will do no coding. Make Tech Friendly India, Make Tech Friendly, and we also this is under Making Tech Friendly. What is under Nishant? This that's my website. Okay, and Nishant YouTube channel. That's the one you are going to see this content on. Okay, so that has everything. Okay, and let's also make the Nishant India YouTube channel. Nishant India YouTube channel. And the point of this all is to basically clear your head a bit. Okay, so whatever is going on in your head, you take it out, you put it somewhere so that you don't forget things. Okay, so that's my Nishant YouTube channel, that's my Nishant India YouTube channel. So and there is the I'm sorry, I don't think this is called Nishant India, it's called Nishant YouTube India. It's project setting Nishant Gaming. This was the gaming channel. I understand. Yeah. Okay. The other is Nishant Gaming India YouTube channel. Reload Gaming India YouTube and Nishant Gaming YouTube. I probably should name them a bit differently because it is quite confusing. I know. We will do that later. Okay, so I have the Gaming India channel, Nishant Gaming YouTube channel, Nishant YouTube channel. All the three channels are here, and this is my website. And you know what? I don't think this should be here because it pertains to everything. Okay, so let's just delete this one. Where is it? Okay, yeah, and I also delete this. I have already completed this small learning course. There is no point. Name of the game is organization. To have an organized mind. So making tech friendly has making tech friendly India and making tech friendly. My website has these two. Now I need one more thing to handle my own website. So my website, the site look very basic, but it is used very extensively, especially these things. Okay, so the Excel and PDF, that is where, I basically recommend laptops at a certain price and all that. So this is very much used extensively, and now I have taken a new plan and I would like to, basically overhaul the website. So it should be Nishant website. I don't have an option. Okay. W6 by XS. Now, once I start adding things, now you will understand what overwhelming means. Okay. Let me show you. Don't email me on this email ID. I never check it. Who the heck checks outlook.com? No one does. Okay. And this should be, so in the website, there are a lot of sections. There is a gaming section, there is a negative friendly section, there is a blog, and there is a developer section. So right now I'm only concerned with making it friendly on the website. Okay. Right now I'm only concerned with this, and there should also be here one general, or yeah, general. Let's call it general. We will change it later. Close, close, and close. Okay. Okay. Now that we have done a lot of things, what I have to do, let's start with the basic things that most people will understand on my India channel. Okay, let's go into the boards and let's go into the backlogs. Okay, so here is where you add a product backlog. Okay, so new work item. No. I want actually, I want to show an epic. So the epic basically means it's a collection of a complete tasks. You're not getting to one thing, you are doing, so for example, I have to make a series of videos. Okay, so in my case, so it's about videos on making tech friendly India. Okay, and this will have this will have a lot of, you know a lot of things. And so if I make new work item, okay, I kind of have forgotten this because now I am working on Jira. Yeah, so assign it to me state doing, and this is not going to ever be completed because this is an ongoing process. Okay, now in this, let's start adding items, and that is where the magic happens. Now I have a lot of things in my head, I have a lot of things written down on my phone, but don't have it organized. Sprints and all, we will talk about it later. I think they're quite, let's talk about it. So what I have to do right now is I have to make a video on what I have to make a video on. I have to make a video on. See, that's the thing. I don't remember. I have noted some things down. I had some things in my head, but I don't remember them. And that's the point. You don't have to remember them, but it must be somewhere. Okay, so I have to make a video on Casify and Lenovo video about cache. Okay, so I have to make a video on that. Now I have written that I'm going to remove it from my notes app on my phone because it was quite overwhelming. Okay, what else? A video. Okay, I remember. I actually have put the to-do list in the playlist itself on my home channel. So if I go to here, this video is for those people who live in India, but yeah, no, this is here. Yeah, here it is. You see, I'm actually made a to-do list here itself. So what happens if you turn the memory integrity on and off? There is one update GPU drivers to remove the flicker. So I have to make a video on that. I have to make a video on this, and I have to make it on documents. I have to make a video on that, and I make the battery backup video. Okay. And as you can see, I have written here that I need volunteers for this, and people have already responded. They have said they will help me out. Okay, so that's the thing. So the problem with doing any of these videos is that these are kind of blocked. I need someone who can be on a call with me and I can work with them. So can I change the type of task later? I don't think I can change it later. So what I am thinking of, actually adding, so let's see if I can. I'm thinking of adding what's that called? An issue, so a blocked issue. The question is, how do you do that in here? Okay, so let's go into here. The problem with this is I cannot do this right now. So can I add a link? We are going to make a link type. It's not a branch. No, so this is the repo thing. I don't want, I want to do this. Yes, a new item. So this will not be a child. This will be, there is a blocked by thing in Jira. I think I can do this in also, but I don't have the time. So we'll do it later. So it should be related by an issue. That should actually be a task. So the issue is I need a volunteer with Q7840 to test it. So that's what's blocking me. Now it has come here as a, can I change the type of this? No, I cannot. Okay. So all these videos, actually, all these tasks are actually linked to, all these are related to this one. Did I actually select that also? Yeah, no, I didn't. So these are all linked to, all where is it? Related to need volunteerism, right? For which it already exists. Which one did I add it for? Okay, so this one has this one also. Okay, so apart from this, let's add a link to existing item to this, and okay, and it shows you cannot jam between work and now because the item only can have one parent link leaf. Okay, so that is also already added. Okay, I selected the wrong one, I think. Add link, existing item, related, this. Okay, now I have to check all of them one by one. Why is it doing that? So okay, it is already related. Already related. This is not. Save and close. This is here. Save and close. This is already here. This is already here. Good. So, so as you can see, I already have a bunch of tasks to do, and I already have, if I go into the work items, it's much more easier to see. And open queries. So the query thing is basically to, uh, do a bunch of things right away. Let's see if I can turn these. If I can change the type, I have to change the type of all these to task. These are tasks, these are not issues. Save. Where is it? Where is save items? Save items. Okay, so these are these are now tasks that I have to do, and these are all linked by this issue. This all needs to be assigned to me because no one else is working with me. Save items. Okay, now understand what is being done here. So it is very easy to get lost in making tasks and doing all this. The problem is it's important to understand the core behind it. Let me just check my video is working. Okay. Understand what we are doing. So what we are doing is we are taking stuff out of our head, out of written notes here and there, and we are defining them on this website. Okay. This actually helps a lot, as you will see now. This actually helps a lot in doing something a lot more complex. So these were just videos and all. Okay, so this was all the YouTube channel. I'm not gonna talk about that. Now I have to talk about this. Okay, this is more important for me, and this is what I actually want the DevOps thing to work. So the website one, I have to do some general stuff first. Okay, now let's go into the boards. Let's go into the boards and I'm going to write an epic. So the epic is basically overhaul the website to be responsive and much more intuitive Okay, this is not generally recommended. In an epic, there should be some kind of goal. Okay, so how do I know what happens with this overhaul response and intuitive? So what I am thinking is, let's just keep the work log as this. Okay, or a better answer would be to make the website dynamic. That is the main thing that I want to. Right now, everything is static. You go into this website, you click into this link. These are basically all HTML that I wrote. Okay, with some kind of CSS. So, and I want to change that. Okay, I don't want a PDF to be here. I want this as to show as in my website. Okay, one of the things is that my epic is only this. My epic is that I want to make the website more dynamic. Okay, and that is the main priority of this website. Let's go into the ports. Let's go to the work items. None of these things are perfect. I'm the only person in this organization, and it still doesn't pick it up. Okay, anyways, now what do I have to do? I have to do a lot of things, and you know what? I think this is wrong. Make the website dynamic or doing something is the whole purpose of this project. This is not my epic. Epic should be a story, something you achieve. So my epic should be to, let's start with little things. So let's start with a small thing, the CPU chart. Okay, so this is the current CPU chart. So before we do that, I need some proof of concepts. See how why I'm telling you this is overwhelming. Making website with Python app and database connection. That is what I actually want to do. I want some proof of concept that my website can run on a Python, let's say Flask app, and a fast API as the backend. And I put the data in the database, okay, and I retrieve it and I show it here. That is what I actually want to do, and that is what I have written as the epic. Earlier, the epic was very vague. You cannot have a vague thing like that. Let's now I have to, before we get into all those complications, I have to do some POCs. So the first POC would be, POC is proof of concept that this thing works. The proof of concept will be external database connection. Okay, my earlier provider didn't have that, and that's why I switched away from him. Because if I am not able to access the database from outside anywhere, it is, I don't even think I would want to actually do anything. Okay, only if I have an external database connection, like let's say in DB or any application, that I really want to actually work on it, because it is important for me as a person to see the whatever the data is in a connection. I don't want to log in into MySQL website or there and I see bunch of data. I don't want to write a bunch of SQL statements. I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm more of an Excel guy and I like things seeing on a grid, and for that I need an external database connection. So that is the first important thing. Okay, external database connection. If this doesn't happen, everything else is, they basically failed. The other task is, if this works, and so even if it doesn't work, even if the database is internal, maybe I can work with it. But since it's a proof of concept, Flask app on the server. Okay, so I don't know how this will be done. So that's why I'm taking a time. It's a proof of concept. I want to make a Flask app in Python and I want to deploy it on my server and I want to see if it works or not. You know what? The Flask app, just the hello world will do. Just the hello world will do. Okay. Yeah. Now, if I'm being honest, this should have another issue in it. If I'm being honest, there should be another issue here. Not an issue because I have no idea what will happen. Okay, na? So the figure out how endpoints can be uploaded, how endpoints can, how new apps can be published on the server without on a particular route. If Python App can run on a particular route instead of a home database, and this should be a priority one. So what I have done is I don't know. I actually don't know that do I need to publish my whole Python app on my complete website here so that everything has to be in Python, or can I go into, let's say, gaming, and can I make only this page, just this page, in a Python? I think it should be possible, but I don't. So I need to, this is also a POC. This is also a proof of concept. Okay, and this is the first priority. Now let's talk about sprints. Okay. So sprints are small chunk of times, basically small chunk of times in which you try to deliver something to the clients. That's where the idea comes from. If I'm being honest, that has only caused troubles in the past for developers. What I have seen, what happens is they add a bunch of things in the sprint. They add a bunch of do a lot of things in the sprint. So either they under what's the word I'm looking for? Either they have a lot of very little work than how much the developer can perform, or they have a lot of work. Okay, that's what usually happens. The approach I have seen that works better, something that is at the core of Scrum, is you let the task be as it is, let people assign it to themselves as they want. Okay, usually that's the most efficient way to get your hours out of a developer. If you assign the tasks to them, okay, and most people in the PM position, Scrum Master position, they are not that technical. You can't be. That's the thing. You can't have everything. You can't know about every language, what the developers are working on, depending on the size of the company. Even then, small companies, it's a trouble. So instead of assigning task in sprint that we want to get this done, we get this done. Think of this as I think this would be a clear message to all the developers in whatever organizations, big, small, doesn't matter. That yes, we are going to add a few things in the sprint. Okay, we are going to add a few things. Let's say, so my sprint would be, and be very dynamic with the sprint dates. It doesn't have to be 1 week, 2 week. Be very dynamic. Okay, that's what happens. I have seen this. What people will do, they will either make a very small sprint like 1 week, or they will make a 2 week sprint. Okay, and they will not take into account how many business days are there, how many actual business days, something. So in 1 week there might be 5 holidays, it might be 2 or 3 holidays, and the developer might only be working for 2 days. They do not account for that. That's the issue I have. They do not account for business days, how many actual hours they're going to have in a particular. Okay, let's say I have a holiday on 30 and 31st. Okay, and I was going to work on Friday. I was thinking of the sprint to go from Monday to Saturday. Let's say it's a bad approach, but let's say I want to do that. But I am on leave on 30 and 31st. Saturday is holiday, and I'm only going to work 1 day out of the sprint. So should my sprint have as same number of tasks as the other sprints? It doesn't make sense. Okay, take into account about holidays. Anything below 2 weeks, what? Let me show you my face and let me bring up my docs. So a lot of the things that I am actually saying in this video, I haven't, brainstormed and came up with them myself. These are actually things that I actually learned in the agile development and Scrum course that I was doing. The course that is by IB. Okay. Sadly, I couldn't complete it, but I really love doing that. I might even complete it. But I need money, money, money. We will do it later. We will do it later. So, where is it? Where is it? Intro to DevOps. No, this is not it. Oh yeah, now you can see my screen. Yeah, so this is Introduction to Agile Development and Scrum. So this course is on Coursera, and this I think is given by IBM. Yeah, so this is the course, and John Roflano I think is amazing, absolutely amazing guy. Other IBM courses are absolute trash, if I'm being honest. Especially even though I'm from India, I'm going to say it, the courses done by the Indian people. If the instructor is Indian, they basically, majorly fuck up the course. Okay, it's like I don't know what is wrong with them. All they do is talk about bore you basically. They bore you a lot. This guy talks from the heart. He talks from experience. So yeah, a lot of the things you see that I'm talking about is actually coming from this. Is actually coming from this. So what I said, sprints are usually 2 weeks long. Any longer, much stuff might change. Any smaller things might have. Product backlog is everything you want to do. Make the sprint ready. So yeah. I'm having my own take on that. So my first sprint, I wanted to start today, but I don't want it to end in a week because most of the day is holiday. Let's go into September, so I might get like one day or two, or one day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I might actually work till. Okay. So now what I want to do, I want to do some things in this sprint. So what I have to do, the all the POC, external database connection, Flask app on the server, and the Python. I want all these to be in. All these to be in. Where is it? I think I have to go into edit. I have to go into sprint. Where is sprint? Where is sprint? There is no sprint. I can add. I think I can add it here right away. If I go here and I click on at here, activity, where is sprint? Okay, it is an iteration. Good. Iteration, sprint one, and save items. Yeah, that is the thing. When you start working on it, a lot of things. So yeah, I want it to be assigned to. There is only 1%. We will. Don't worry about assigning the task. Okay, if you assign task yourself, I don't know. Keep your task as it is. Tell the developer to pick what they want. Give them a bit of freedom. If you don't, I don't know, they will start looking for job in another company. You need to give them some freedom. Yeah, Python app can be published on the server. Flask app, hello on the server, and external database connection. Can I do this? These three things are very important in getting anything else that comes later. Okay, now let's talk about actual. So these were the proof of concepts, and these should actually be, this should actually be under the my first epic, which was linked to an existing work item. These are all child of POC. Okay, and save items. Because what the hell is going on? So if I start to add one, I think all else are already added. If I go into this, okay, did I add it as a parent? Sorry. Link type. Yeah, it is kind of confusing to have the parent and a child. Okay, so this is POC. I don't want to add an existing item as I want an existing item to be a child. So this is a child of this. I also want existing item. I also want this to be a child of this, and I also want the last one, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this is what I want to do This is what I want to do in this sprint. These might look very small tasks to you. I'm telling you, someone who is new to all these, not easy. Okay, and that is one thing that I have learned. A developer working on a thing for like 2 years is going to pick up something and do it like right away. But someone who has joined new to company, even though he is an experienced developer, he needs to learn where the codes are, how everything is written, and all that. He needs to figure a lot of things out. You can't expect a new joinee in a project to perform as equally as the other people. Okay, even if he is a lot more experienced, he will not be able to. You need time to figure out how things are going to work. Okay, where the database connections are, how the tables are made, little things, how the code is written, what's going on here, what's going on there. These things takes time, and you really can't expect anyone, and you shouldn't expect. But I have seen this like all the time, especially if you have, let's say a computer science degree and you joined a company, they will expect you to pick up things like right away. That is a bad approach. No matter how experienced the person is, if they are joining a new organization, it will take some time, especially in the beginning of the task, to figure out what to do. Okay. So I've only added these four things in the sprint. These three things, if I'm being honest, the first is just a epic. Okay, that is important. I want to get these done. Now, everything else that I'm going to add, I'm not going to assign it any sprint. Okay, the other epic that I want to actually do is I shouldn't call it an epic. Let's make a task and we'll see if it needs to be in an epic or not. CPU benchmark from database. Currently, this link is just a website. Okay, and these are all just word file, just basically pasted here. I don't want to do this. I want this to be a proper Flask app. It doesn't have to be Flask app, a dynamic page where I can serve a CPU and it runs from the backend as a data back, and it runs from the database. You know what? Now that I think about it, this should actually be it should be an epic, because this is going to have a lot of steps in it. So that should be the CPU benchmark from database, and that should be it. I do this. This is an epic. This is a big epic. CPU benchmark from database, and now this will have a lot of tasks in it. Leave this. Now it will have a task. What will be the first task? Make a CPU benchmark database. Okay, this will have Geekbench 6 and Cinebench R23 and laptop details. So the thing is, if you come to the laptop world, you cannot compare CPU from one laptop to the other just based on the CPU specs. The thermal design of the CPU and how much power is being given, how much everything, a lot of things matter, and that actually push the CPU. So a same CPU might perform poorly on a thin laptop, but it might perform better on a heavy laptop, okay, or vice versa, depending on how the thermals are designed. So that's why I have also the laptop details. I have Cinebench R23. We can't find it, so we have to. So the first item is only make a CPU benchmark database, and the parent will be this. Okay. No, I'm not going to assign it a sprint. We need to do these first. If the proof of concept doesn't work, what's the I shouldn't actually even be writing these out, but we will figure out some way to do it. So the database is there. Make an API endpoint to get the data from the database. CPU benchmarks. Let's call the benchmark. Let's call this database CPU benchmark. Okay, we will figure out what the actual name should be later, but this makes sense right now. And if it works, what we have to do once the API endpoint is done, apply the show the CPU benchmark on the front end, and the existing work item should be okay. Now I already have two epics. I think this looks better in where do they seem better? I don't remember, but there is a way where actually what is inside a task we will figure it out. We will figure it out how. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to show that this actually has a bunch of tasks. So if you go into this, it has 2, 3, and 4. If you go into this, it has 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I have to also do a bunch of things. Let's, you know what, let's add it. Let's add it. That's the whole point of this. So the CPU benchmark is done. Now the other is GPU benchmark dynamic. Okay, and I have to, what is the CPU benchmark from CPU benchmark dynamic website. That is what I want to achieve. The other were the steps. Okay, so one is CPU benchmark dynamic website, the other is GPU benchmark dynamic website. And so similarly how I had these, let's add link, new item. I want this to be a child, and the title should be GPU benchmark database creation. Okay, and there should also be one GPU add link, new item, GPU benchmark API endpoint. So what the API endpoint is, basically you put a website here, you send it a parameter, and it gives you all the data in a JSON format or some other kind of format that a front-end guy can easily apply to his website. Okay, so what's the last one? Add link, new item, GPU benchmark show website. Okay, there is one more thing that I didn't write in all this. It is to actually populate. Okay, so basically data entry for GPU benchmark. Okay, everything else was just coding. I also need a benchmark. So similarly with CPU benchmark, add a link, new item. So it will be CPU data entry for CPU benchmark. We are going to go through all these together. Okay, don't worry. Now in the POC, there is one thing that is very important, that is actually bothering me: how to get the database connection out of the code and hidden from everyone else. This is the thing that has been bothering me for quite a while. Okay, so I have to put what I'm thinking. I have to put somehow my environment variables. So how to connect to the database, the username and password basically, and my server details. I have to put it somewhere so the app can access, but I don't want anyone else to access. Okay, I don't want someone to just go to my website and download the code and see the file. Okay, these are the database connection. Let's delete all this data. Someone can do that. It's very simple. I don't want that. Okay, I don't want that to happen. So for that, what we are going to do, I think what I know what the answer is, to put a .env file on the server, on the my Linux server. It is Linux server itself. But I think this is what I have to. I'm not sure if it is the right way. This might be the way. Okay. Let's go to the work item. Now at least I don't have to put things in my head. It's out of my head. My head is more clear now. I don't have to think about, because I kept thinking even at night, how am I going to supposed to do this? What are the steps that are going to happen with this, that, all that. Okay. So yeah, I think that should be enough for this video. For this task, where is it? Yeah, for this task, I might actually not make a video because I will have to edit a lot part of it to hide the environment variables and all that. But after I am done, I will at least show you how it was achieved. Okay, now Python and Fast API are not my first choice, but since I use it in my daily job, let's just do it in that itself. Okay, yeah, here's a 1 hour video. Thank you for staying around. Also, if you want, you can add me on LinkedIn. I might not accept your request, but you can at least follow me there. That is where I will put the everything there. Okay, yeah, see you later. My LinkedIn is /in/ni6hnt, and that's the username I go by most places. You know what? Let's talk about what we done today. So what we did was basically something that is being used in IT like everywhere. So Jira and all that. We are using that to get stuff out of our head. So we want to achieve a humongous task. If I'm being honest, that is humongous. What I showed you, that is really big for me. I want to do that, but I was not sure what approach should I take. I knew some things would happen from here and there, and if I would have just started working, it would have become overwhelming, and I would have, given up. I will say, you know what, the website is working fine. But since I have broken it down into small steps, small doable chunks, I think the main, I just remembered a statement. How do you eat an elephant? Okay. How do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. How do you achieve a big, humongous task? One small task at a time. Okay. And this is also coming from, Charles Duhigg's book about small wins, habits. So you need to have little wins in your life. You can't just make a big task about you. And this doesn't have to be just work, even in study. You can't just have, I'm going to learn everything in this book. I'm going to achieve this much percentage of that. You can't do that. Okay. You can't, you don't build a wall. Like Will Smith said, don't build a wall. You lay one brick perfectly as a brick can be laid, and you do that every single day. You do little tasks every day. Okay, you focus on a small part of the thing and you do only that. You just do that, and the wall is complete. And the elephant, you have it in the complete. Okay, that is the thing that I want to do. If anything in your life is bothering you, that is very big, try to do this approach. It doesn't have to be IT. Okay, see you.